doing today? I hope you're having a fantabulous day today, guys. In this video, just addressing the issue, why has my health condition returned? Questions like that, and how long do I have to do this? And if I get better, do I still have to continue the regimen or continue to eat healthy? And all of these questions, they really and truly lead to the same answer. Why is it when someone cuts out fibroid, they might have fibroids growing again within a year? Why is it that someone go through the chemotherapy route and they're told, oh, you're cancer free, yay, and then 6 months down the road, oh, your cancer has returned and it is now in a different location, and all of these things, they're all interconnected. It's oftentimes we want the results and we don't realize that we got our body to a state. It's not the case where, oh, you know what, all kinds of things are affecting me and I have nothing to do with it. We create our own conditions. Some of them, for most of us, it's not knowing. We don't do it knowingly. Maybe if we knew different at the time, we probably would have made different changes or made some changes. For some of us, we probably would have continued along the same line, even knowing what the outcome would possibly be. And I just want to say this, is that because we are looking at it from the perspective that, you know what, something is in my body or something is attacking me and I've got to get rid of it, and once I get rid of it, I'm fine. That's not what is happening. In most instances, we are breaking down our bodies because of what we are putting into our bodies. And yeah, you might go through a process, do some detoxification, and you might get better. The cancer cells, you would have been free from those. The body eliminated those, and you're okay, or your fibroid tumor might shrink, or your arteries are no longer, clogged and so forth. But then you go back to doing the same thing that contributed to it in the first place. And then people wonder why, it happened. And some people might cleanse their body and go back to the same old diet. And many, many years after, they have not seen the manifestation of, any serious health condition. But that doesn't mean that it isn't slowly building, because once you start clogging up the system, you begin to start negatively affecting the cells and put the body in a state of acidosis where you're constantly bringing in acid forming foods and not enough alkaline forming foods and so forth, and continue to do that. And so yes, you can be relieved of a health condition and then experience the same kind of condition again. And I'm not going to say it returned, because I don't know this thing about, my cancer returned, or the fibroids grew back. No, the terrain, you created a terrain in the body that facilitated the development of certain condition, and you cleanse the body, but then you then again created the same kind of terrain. So it's not a matter that, oh, the cancer returned or the fibroids grew back. It's not the same thing that just magically appears somewhere else. It's that we have created an internal terrain that facilitates the growth of tumors and the breakdown of our system, that our organs are not functioning as they ought to. And that is something that I want people to take into consideration. And yes, it would be great if everybody could go 100% plant-based. I know for a lot of people this is a struggle and they're not there yet. But at least work at improving the diet. Don't, go through, cleanse the body, and then go back to doing the same thing that you were doing before. Make some changes, because you would have experienced the difference that the diet made in your life. You would have experienced that, and that's why you were healed. The diet and the herb and these combination of fasting, whatever method you use, you would have experienced how effective that was to bring about an improved level of health for you. And another thing too, some people do the bare minimum. They just do enough to start feeling better, and then they stop and they go back to the same, doing the same thing. Just remember, we've got to continue to make good choices to continue to have good health. And some people will say, oh, I know the whole we're all gonna die story. I've heard that. That's a little bit tired. It's not a matter of we are all gonna die, but why not live the best life that you can? Why, and it's not, some people say, but some people live to 100 and whatever, they smoke cigarettes every day, and yada yada, the billion different things. But the quality of life that they live, that's one thing to look at. Were they able to go about, do things for themselves? Did they feel independent? Could they brush their hair and, do certain things? Could they do these things, or did they live in, chronic pain? So some people, have strong genes. Some people were born and they weren't so lucky. They were born with a number of health conditions, and and a lot of these people sometimes turn their lives around by cleansing and rebuilding the body. And that is something that we all should take steps to do. Not everybody will start at the same place, and not everybody will go their journey the same way. That's just how it is. But at least, try to make the changes, and even doing it bit by bit, day by day, week by week, and try to make some changes to the diet. Because if you continue to put the things in the body that created the issue, then even when you have rid the body of that issue, you may have new conditions developing. And that might not be the case for everybody, but it will be the case for most people. And so, so that is something to think about. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this useful. Subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos. Don't forget, be the change